Hey, what's up, Anders? The quick demo video for you for your Aniflex V2. It's my day off today, but I wanted to get this off to you this morning so that I can hopefully get this in the mail to you today and get it on its way to you, right? So I did get it done last night. I don't remember if I said that already, but it's installed the Proffie V2. It's a 2-button setup, so your top switch here is your activation. Your bottom switch down here is your auxiliary. There's a lot of tweaking that goes on with this auxiliary switch typically. I have to clock it a certain way. I do have a little bit of E6000 on the thread so that when I got this to where I wanted it to be and then let it sit overnight, it stayed in place. So that's what I did there. But it's a nice tactile feel now. You've got the new Shtok B3 NPXL in here for your main PCB. What else? Yeah, so unfortunately in your kit you only had 3 of your pins, right? So one of your pins is missing, but you know that I reached out to you. Hopefully you can get one pretty easily. Let's see, to get to the chassis, what you want to do is just unscrew this guy right here. I'll put something in your kit too that helps you unscrew this so you don't have to do it with your hands, because when it's tight it is a little difficult to do. But this comes right off. Try not to drop it, right? This comes off. You'll see your speaker in there. Chassis pops out like this, and here's your chassis. So it's completely removable, obviously, right? We use the Smuggler's Outpost Switch Pixel PCB set. You've got a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker back here. This is a removable battery setup. So spring size your negative right here. Your board is here. I did put a piece of art tape around it, although it's not really necessary. I just went ahead and did that anyway because I have a spot in the chassis for it. But you can get to your micro USB slot and your SD card and everything right here and not ever move this board. This was specifically designed for Lando originally, and he had that requirement. So I've just moved forward with this design. It works out really well in this particular Saber. All right, so that's your chassis. For the Saber, I did have to go in and file down your screw right here to hold in your cover tech because I needed it out of this socket. So that's been filed down. It's all nice and smooth. You can take this apart if you want to, although you never need to. It is recommended to put this chassis in through the back and not to, I'll show you. Not really recommended to take the chassis and put it in this way and then screw it together. It puts a lot of stress on the pins. It's really not a good idea if you ever see that setup. You don't want to put side load on these pins when you're screwing everything in. These pins want to take a load straight from the front. So that's why I recommend putting it in from the back. But you can, if you need to. Here's your 14-pin PCB set, so that never comes out, right? That's what that looks like. Pins just barely sticking out, if you can see that. Like, yeah, right? That's all they need to stick out. So we'll put this back on. Screw this on, lock it down. Obviously I got your grips on. I made my own grip guide. So you've got the accurate distance between the end of the pommel and the start of your grips all the way around here. And then they're evenly spaced, of course, and everything's looking good there, right? So what you want to do on your chassis, we'll put a battery in, spring side your negative.
Anger and your lust for power.
So you've got that. And once you've got this battery in, you could put this chassis in any way you want, right? We'll just shove it right in. Obviously you got motion controls. That might happen to you when you're putting it in, no big deal. But you get it that far and then you want to put this back on. Most of it you'll be able to get with your fingers, right? But when it starts to get tight on you, it's engaging those pins. So what you want to do is just take this thing that I'm going to put in your box, and it will help you lock this down. You want to tighten that all the way. And now all those pins are engaged, right? Everything's looking good there. Auxiliary. Twist off. Or if you didn't want to do that, you could just do that, right? And then tap it again and turn it off. And then to get to your soundtracks, for each font, we just hold this down for a second and let go. And then do that again to turn it off. And that gets to each of your soundtracks on your sound fonts is the same way. On your blade retention, which is right here, I did take this out and I removed about 2.5 threads off of it so that it wouldn't be sticking so far into the blade chamber. We're going to go ahead and throw a blade in here. Takes a 7/8 inch blade. It's a nice snug fit. You probably won't have to do any sanding. I've sanded this guy a little bit, but it feels like it would have gone in there without that. So we'll lock this down, right? You do have battle mode, right? So if you hit the saber, or if you hit the blade, or if you hit the saber or the blade, it'll initiate blade lock up. You'll see that better on a full length blade, but then it will stay like that until you pull away from it. And we go to the next sound font.
Sent me.
Lord Vader.
Try not to hit stuff, you know what I mean? We'll twist off. We'll take the blade out. So one thing I remembered as I was going through this, which is kind of the reason why I do these two, is on your Rogue Vader font, I did not give you a slow ignition for the blade. I did this early this morning and forgot to do that. So what I'm going to do as soon as this video is done is I'm going to go back and change that blade ignition to slow, right? And then that will be good. So we'll tighten down this blade retention screw. If you need me to, I can send you a short video of that just through Messenger to show you that the ignition is slow. It's no biggie. And then we'll come back here and we'll take this pommel back out when we're all done. And again, when you go to take this chassis out, it might go off on you. It's just the nature of the motion controls. You just take it in your hand and it falls right out just like that. And then you come in here from the positive side and pull your battery out just like that. It's that simple, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave this chassis out because I need to mess with that config. But that's your Saber. Let me know if you got any questions. If not, I'll package this guy up today. All right, thanks.